Hey, the Chicago Bears just dropped a big time signal that change is coming and that it's happening very soon. And if you're like me, I think it's pretty obvious to even Coach Flus himself, his employment with the Chicago Bears. It's going to end soon. But here's what happens when change is imminent: things are leaked. And something just caught my attention that may telegraph plans for our next head coach. And I think this is moving toward offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, him being named head coach following this Lions game, breaking tradition with this franchise, never firing a coach during the season. And it also speaks to, when a head coach is fired, typically the whole staff is cleared out. Everyone must go, complete start from scratch. But with this bombshell, this little thing that's been leaked, I think it speaks to something completely different happening. And it goes with GM Ryan Poles. He has run a famously tight ship when it comes to leaking information. A pretty reliable insider, that's Mark Carman of Chicago Bears podcast. He just stated that he has it on good authority that new offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, he wasn't a Matt Eberflus hire at all. And that's regardless of what the head coach is saying in the media. There's a lot of significance in this. That makes a huge difference. And I'm going to go to the 33rd team on Twitter. Betting odds are already coming out on a head coaching job that's technically not even open yet. You've got the Buffalo Bills' Joe Brady leading the way, followed by Ben Johnson, and then our very own Thomas Brown. This is via the 33rd team once again. And you guys know the phrase, Vegas knows. Vegas already has Thomas Brown ranked as number 3. And the guy just continues to be interesting here. He's a unique name because we have the opportunity to provide a real-time job interview. And I think that's coming very soon. So I'm going to get to it. I'm going to close that down. So what has he recently said? What has Coach Flus said? He's essentially started taking credit for what Thomas Brown is doing. It's crazy. And I don't fully blame him. This guy is trying to save his job. This is a direct quote from a presser recently. I recruited him really hard as he was very sought after. We talk a lot on the phone, visited a lot about the opportunity here. That's his quote. And Carman says the exact opposite is happening. He says it was 100% GM Ryan Poles who recruited and brought him in. And we have a huge opportunity. We had a huge priority on continuity heading into this year, right? That was a key phrase. It was used so much it could have been on t-shirts, but it's coming out. Once again, I think it's being purposely leaked. This is a tight-lipped regime because remember the firing of longtime employee Cliff Stein, an employee of 25 years, did cap management, was a team lawyer, very close with the McCaskies. Remember the reaction of Greg Gabriel when that happened. He was obviously upset, posting to Twitter with curse words, upset that his main source of insider information was no longer with the team. There was a lot of cleaning out of the front office. It's been a really high priority for this GM and this team president to run a really tight-lipped ship. So that makes it even more interesting that it's now getting out here at this time that most notably team president Kevin Warren, he wanted to move on from Flus before the season. Is something possible here? The guys at Sports Mockery, they brought this up. I want to give them credit. They do fantastic work. Flus was dead set on hiring Waldron. Poles gave him the autonomy to do so. If what Carman is saying is true, Brown was fully a Ryan Poles recruit. You've got a guy with offensive coordinator experience, kind of taking a demotion as a passing game coordinator coming into Chicago. Pretty nice insurance hire by our GM, right? Ryan Poles, he's going to be retained. He will be able to hire a new coach. GMs typically get more than one shot at doing so. So I think Brown should take over as head coach right now. Like I said, it is coming out from reliable sources that GM Ryan Poles, he was the one who exclusively brought Brown in. I think I might have called him Thomas Jones. I have a running fixation as a Chicago Bears fan. So if I've done that and not said Thomas Brown, please give me some grace. But there's a big possibility that Thomas Brown, he's going to slide into the head coach role next year. If he succeeds to finish this year, the Bears need to pull the trigger on Friday. Elevate this guy, see what we have, give him a trial run so we don't make the same mistake again by giving a guy the keys, a guy who's never been a head coach before. If we bring in the Lions offensive coordinator, he's never been a head coach before. Let's use the opportunity to actually kick the tires in real time. To me, it's absolutely essential. Use the remainder of this season as a job interview, right? Because there's zero benefit of keeping Flus here to finish the year. Yet again, if he stays the head coach, the Bears should change their mascot to the Turtles. I've said this before because that's exactly what Coach Flus does under pressure. He gets scared. He huddles into his shell. Look at the first half against the Vikings. We've got the ball at our own 20, right? 3 minutes to go. All 3 timeouts, plus a 2-minute warning. And Caleb, he's been great in these situations. Let's go get a touchdown before the half, right? What does our head coach do? You can guess, right? Without even seeing the game, you can guess. He runs 2 plays. He gets it down to 2 minutes. Great job. After a first down, the ball's at the 33. Not another play run until 90 seconds left. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And now the defense is no longer playing for him. No reason to be here at this point. Strong defense, that was his one saving grace, right? For Coach Flus. And also, he's even to the point that he's running super soft coverages in crunch time, just like that overtime loss. That field goal to win the game was way too easy. And this isn't the first time that this has happened. Give Thomas Brown the interim head coaching role. Give him the keys. And here's the thing. If he can't handle it, I want to know now so his name can be removed from consideration. We have a real search during the offseason. Maybe let Kerry Joseph take the offensive coordinator role. Have Brown still call the plays. That's not a foreign concept. You can still have this further progress of Caleb Williams under his tutelage. I mean, the team's definitely open to that, because that's exactly what they did with Coach Flus calling the plays, right? Still with Washington as a defensive coordinator. With the leak coming out that Brown was a hire by GM Ryan Poles, I think it's a purposeful leak. His guy, coupled with Eberflus going out of his way to say that Brown was his recruit, that's kind of the connection doesn't seem coincidental. Typically, where there's smoke, there's fire, particularly with this team that doesn't leak a lot of information. But I guess we'll know on Friday, right? To me, that should be the final day that Matt Eberflus is head coach of the Bears. It isn't something I take pleasure in. He's a very good man. I love him as a person, but it's just reached a tipping point with not only me, but probably you and everyone else watching Chicago Bears football. It's like a foregone conclusion. There is no reason for Matt Eberflus to still be head coach. I would love to see Coach Brown get the keys to the car, let him take a trial run so we can see if he can handle being the head of this football team. And then we can have an honest interview process. If we know that we have a really good recruit who can actually handle the ball, handle the job already in her pocket, it's going to make that head coaching search that much easier. And I think it's the right thing to do. So hopefully this is done after Friday. I would love to see a competitive game against the Lions. We have their number in the past, but regardless of how this game finishes, we need to make this move right now. You guys let me know what you think. As always, love interacting with you in the comments. Bear down, and we've got a game to enjoy tomorrow. So I'll see you guys soon. Later.